experience.
Thanks, Kai. Appreciate it.
Okay, you guys are good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
We can leave the room.
You don't have to
You
leave.
guys can stay if you want.
Whatever you want.
I'll stay and work.
I think I'll stay and work. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
you guys
I want to
can
see our first podcast.
enjoy the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
so
you ever need to like fact check something, we're here.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
is it already recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, and breathe. All right. Welcome one, welcome all to the inaugural episode of the 36. I'm your host, I guess, Nathan Ruberto, and with me today are my lovely guests, Mannan, Attlee, and Al-Barr, Ajiboye. Fellas, why don't you start by introducing yourselves and a little bit about what it is you're doing here, and then we'll get into some, general discourse and questions. We'll start with you, Mannan.
So I'm Mannan, founder of Light Squared, and I'm trying to redesign the physical equipment that a new type of solar panel will now sit on.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, solar panels have been around 25 kilograms. There's a new type of solar panel that's more efficient, easier to manufacture, and around 5 times lighter. And I'm looking to redesign the mounting equipment for this new technology.
Perovskite solar panels.
Perovskite
Indeed.
solar panels.
Chemistry.
And my name is Al-Barr. I'm the co-founder of Allotrade, which is an AI platform for post-trade workflows. And so basically what I mean by that is for trading firms, there's the execution side and there's the post-trade workflows, all the operations that happen after a trade is actually booked. So settlement, making sure that both counterparties can actually exchange assets. All of that is very manual. There's very old systems that firms are still using, and so we're trying to incorporate AI into that and streamline those workflows.
Okay, and this is new to me because I think, we've all, as a result of this program, we've all been kind of like pivoting, figuring out, okay, what exactly is it that we want to work on? And, I myself have undergone pivots, and now this is a new venture for you. I want to pick your brain and learn more about that. But I guess first maybe I should say, since this is the first episode, no one knows who I am either. I should probably say what I'm doing now. I have a chemical engineering background, and so I'm trying to make what I am deeming the cursor of chemical engineering, or the cursor for chemical engineers. So similar to what Al-Barr just said about software and industry being extremely outdated, it's the same case for chemical engineers, for industrial facilities, for manufacturing plants. The software that it runs on, it's from the 1980s. And it looks like something my grandfather could have stitched together. It's absolutely ridiculous, and to actually learn it and use it is extremely time-consuming, tedious, manual. And so what I'm trying to do is work on a solution that allows people to kind of input natural language to actually get these process flow sheets to be built, edited, iterated upon, just with simple language to take away 90% of the tedious manual workflow that is not really necessary. So anyways, before we get into general discussion, tell me a bit more about this. This is I did actually understand it, and I know finance and trading talk and stuff isn't really my forte. I don't really know anything about that, but I kind of understood what you were saying there just because I related on the software front. Tell me more about the idea, the grandiose vision. Where is this going to go in 5-10 years, something like that?
Yeah, I think the main reason we're even building a solution in this space is because there's tons of bottlenecks. This space has been around for obviously trading for so long. Everyone's watched Wolf of Wall Street, and so we're trying to automate a bunch of the manual, tedious processes in this whole trading industry. I think initially people, when I say I'm creating a solution for trading firms, people automatically think, oh, you're creating an algorithmic trading tool or something, but that's not the case. There's a lot of back office operational workflows that happen after trades are booked that a lot of people don't understand or don't have knowledge on.
So would that be integrating and hooking up with existing softwares, or is that more so just understanding the processes at play and kind of allowing that into the context of the AI that you're using? What's going on?
Yeah, well, we're still in discovery phase, so we know that this is a problem in the industry. We know that this is costing firms millions of dollars in settlement fails, and I'll get into that in a bit. But we're probably going to start with just embedding whatever like AI agents into their workflows, and then creating a platform from there to create like a system solution, which Ajay has mentioned and you're very fond of.
Yes.
And so that's a good way of like finding a wedge into it and then creating like a system solution after that.
Good callback to the program material. This is what we like to see. So in a sense, you're kind of like mounting the solution. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm trying to segue into something for Mannan to talk about here. Okay, guys. Well, one thing that I want to know and that I think I'm going to routinely ask people is, how did you end up here? And not in terms of how did you smooth talk your way through the interviews and charm them into being like, yes, here's a gracious spot reserved just for you. No. I want to know, like, on your path, what series of decisions actually led to you deciding, I'm going to become a founder, I want to start something, I want to have an impact and change the world. What was the series of events that led to this conversation today?
How far back are we going?
Oh, that's a good point.
Because, I've been obsessed with clean energy since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I almost did a degree in nuclear engineering in the States. Found my way here in Canada, and through my degree, I'm a mechanical engineer. Through my degree, I specialized in clean energy. I've done a lot of projects in solar, wind, hydrogen fuel cells, and that's how I sort of found myself here. Through one of those projects, I got in touch with a company here in Toronto, and they introduced me to perovskite solar panels about 2-3 years ago at this point. It's been in the back of my mind. It was in the back of my mind through my capstone project, and when Next Canada came knocking on my email,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to. My whole life, the work has been around clean energy. I've been wanting to make an impact in clean energy, and thought, you know what? This is that opportunity. Let's take advantage of it. Let's get through it. And the past few months have really been finding what is my way. What is the best way that I can participate in helping commercialize this technology?
And for those who don't understand, like in like the broadest, most high-level terms possible, what is a perovskite and what is new about this technology that's so appealing?
So perovskite, bare bones, is calcium titanium oxide, if I'm remembering correctly. And the new thing about this technology relative to the previous silicon panels need to be manufactured at intense factories at 1500 degrees Celsius. Perovskites can now be printed onto surfaces at around 150 degrees Celsius.
And when you say printed, is this like nanotechnology or
like nanoinks, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the exact manufacturing processes. There's a few different ways, like vacuum forming, roll to roll, printing. The industry's still figuring out what's the most efficient way to manufacture at scale. But essentially, there's a high likelihood that this will be significantly easier to manufacture than silicon solar panels. And they offer higher efficiencies in terms of labs. They've already defeated the silicon, like the pure silicon panel records.
Okay.
And now the main thing is how can you produce a panel that's the same size as the ones that the silicon panels are currently commercialized at? And that's what the manufacturers are working on right now.
So ease of manufacturability, but is it also considered cheaper up front or no?
It's not made from like intensely scarce materials. No.
Okay.
Another main benefit is that it's lighter and flexible. So, like, let's say in longer term goals, there are a lot of companies trying to do data centers in space. If you want to take solar panels up to space, you want a lighter solar panel. You want a panel that is more efficient, and so a lot of people in the industry believe that this is where the solar industry is going to go, and that's going to be the big change over the next few years.
Beautifully said, well said. Now let's actually make it so a 6-year-old or even a caveman could understand it. What would you say, like, me want sun harness expensive?
me want energy. There is sun. I have panel, gets energy from sun. Now I have panel that is potentially cheaper and gets more sun in the same area. So for the same project that you normally have or same land, you will just get more energy for hopefully cheaper.
And you know what? My 6-year-old brain might have been able to understand that. That's pretty good. Okay, now your turn. On to the founder story. How do we get here?
Okay. I think for me, I've wanted to be a founder for honestly as long as I can remember. Like this is now my third venture.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to like high school really. I was just really like, my dad is an entrepreneur, and I think he also has inspired me throughout my life as well in wanting to start my own business. But I think my first idea in high school that I was actually going to try to execute on was like a keyboard for gamers that could like each key could change like characters. Like you can adjust each key to like your preference, basically. And
That's cool.
yeah, and I wasn't even a gamer, so I don't know why. I just thought it was cool. And so, I think I even came up with a name and everything for that. And in my head, I was like, okay, I can't start on a venture until I have the means to do it, which is entirely false. I think like you can create your own means, you can create your own way, right? Whether it's like through people that you know or whatever the case may be. And so I was like, you know what? When I get to university, I'm gonna try again. And so I got to uni. At first, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go through uni. Maybe afterwards, I'll come up with an idea. Let me just get through uni and whatever. And then I had a problem. With this one course of mine. Like everyone had that same issue. Like the course was just super hard. We didn't understand the content, and I think it was called computer architecture, I believe, and no one understood anything. But I was like, okay, well, I'm sure there's somebody who has taken the course before. I just don't know who that person is, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a tutoring platform for post-secondary students to basically pass on information from courses they've already taken, right? And I would pay for that, and I've never even paid for tutoring, and it's cheap too. And so I basically spent the next several months just building this out, and I went through like the DMZ incubator as well, and I learned a lot from that. And and I built it out, hosted. I learned everything about like incorporating, like trying to secure like actual salespeople or buyers or whatever.
So you're the type of person who like sees a problem and you just throw yourself at it. You're like, I'm gonna try to solve this right now.
Yeah, and I'm very like, like I have no patience. Like I'll just as soon as like I have an idea, I'm just going into it, you know. So that was a really cool opportunity. Second venture was like a mobile lab for independent home-based service beauty professionals, like barbers, hairstylists, etc. And I was at that for a couple of years. We pivoted into that. Like it wasn't that initially. It was a directory for like students to find other students who are like entrepreneurs that do those types of services. And here we are now.
Well, welcome. Love it here. Guys, you can also ask me some questions. This could be, it's not entirely interviewing.
So what's your founder story, Nathan?
What's my founder story? That's a bit of a whirlwind, I would say. It's non-linear, and I never actually considered it that seriously until I started applying to accelerators and incubators. And then, throughout the interviewing process for Next, Misha was like, guys, you need to like flip a switch in the back of your head. You need to be fully committed to being an entrepreneur and a founder if you get into this program. Otherwise we don't want you here. This spot could go to someone who wanted it more, right? And so I was kind of just dipping my toes in the water, right? Like Terry Fox before his walk. I was sitting there like, okay, shiver up my leg, but I'm not ready to get hypothermia just yet. I was scared. I wasn't fully ready to commit. And that's why I hadn't considered it too aggressively. But then, as the same way that I had learned through previous discipline teachings in my life, where I realized the human mind, you have full control over it. You truly can just flip a switch and do whatever your heart desires. Oh, God, so cliche. God.
No, but I kind of agree with that because I always thought like, oh, there's going to be this moment that's going to make me want to commit now.
Yeah.
And like I guess there was one email which maybe sparked the thought, but outside like sparking that thought, the rest of it was just like the thought was just in the back of my mind until I just couldn't do anything except not.
Mm-hmm.
Like I couldn't not answer that thought anymore. Like what you say is like you see the problem, you're like I just have to jump on it now.
Yeah.
And it's not about like something major. It's just one thing, and then after that it's like, oh shit.
Well, I think Misha kind of like sparked something in me there because I was considering it, but I hadn't considered it that seriously. I was like, oh, maybe, but like I'll keep my options open. I'll like work on this on the side, that sort of thing. And he was kind of like, no, man, that's not how you succeed. You say, I'm going to do this. If not me, then who else?
Yeah.
Right? So that's kind of how I made the choice to. But how I actually got here, I'm going to try to keep it somewhat short because I could go into too many details, but I'm not going to try to do that. Like I said, I have my chemical engineering background. I went to Waterloo, and as a part of going to Waterloo, you're a part of this co-op program. So you need to work around 5 or 6 jobs before you're allowed to graduate your undergrad degree. From day one in my undergrad, I had the realization within myself, I was like, there's no way that I'm going to learn everything I need to know to take on the real world just by studying my degree, just by taking the classes and doing my homework and all that. So within my first few weeks, I ended up joining a design team. And this was an automotive design team for modifying electric vehicles and that sort of thing. And that was my first exposure to simulation software at all. But it was simulating powertrain performance. So boring, whatever. But simulating that kind of stuff for vehicles. And then that was my first exposure to software and coding and that kind of thing. It was really hard. The learning curve to surmount for this kind of stuff was so steep for me because I'd never really experienced anything like it. And I also didn't have any software experience. I was just going in completely blind, trying to learn something new alongside my degree. And eventually that paid off. It landed me my first internship at Tesla because they were looking for people using the exact same simulation software that I was using. I kind of realized I hated the simulation software, and so I wanted to try something maybe I was more familiar with, going into manufacturing. And so I worked at the factory where they produce the cars, the Fremont factory in California, and did my internship there. But as I'm leaving school, I get a phone call in the airport from my boss-to-be, and he goes, Nathan, I don't know how to tell you this, but the team just got fired. It was a part of the layoffs, a part of the mass layoffs. And so I'm just kind of sitting there with my heart sinking to the floor because I had previously, accepted and then reneged a job, which, was a big no-no. The school gave me a slap on the wrist for that. So then I'm sitting there in April. Co-op term's supposed to start in May, and I just don't have a job, or at least I don't think I do. Thankfully, Tesla ended up, I think they already paid for my visa or something like that, and so they allowed me to migrate into another team. Long story short, this co-op in the factory, they didn't know what to do with me. So one of my projects was on software. That was my main thing. I was working on an app, and I was butting heads with the senior software engineer the entire time because I recognized how valuable AI was going to be in the software process. And so I would use it because it's human nature to take the path of least resistance to get something done, right?
Yeah.
And that's just what we're seeing nowadays. And I kind of am having a I told you so moment because now everyone only codes with AI. Welcome to the world, right? But by the end of this internship, I started freaking out because I was like, wow, all I know and all I like is software now. What am I going to do? I'm applying my ass off to all these software roles. No one's taking me because I have no experience. And I need one more co-op credit to graduate. Mm-hmm. So last second, I find out that the school offers this program where if you start your own venture, start your own business, and take on entrepreneurship, you can get a co-op credit. So I was like, saved by the bell, hallelujah, eureka, let's do this. And that's when I started working on, that was my second venture during that time period. Another one I was working on was just like a side project, where that's also another funny story. Did I tell you guys about how I met the dude in a bar in Halifax? Did I tell you about that?
No.
In February, I was visiting my friend. He worked at Dalhousie, He did neuroscience at Dalhousie, and we were out at a bar, and just a mutual friend kind of goes, "Oh, I'm working on this startup that I'm just starting up." And I kind of go, "Oh, I'm trying to learn how to build stuff. I'm trying to learn how to make startups. Let's work together. Let's talk." And so I'm building his startup while I'm building my own startup, and I'm doing this this program at the school as well, so I don't flunk out. And that's how it all started, man. That's how it all started. And then one thing led to another. I kept pursuing that venture, and then I got into Next 36. And here we are. Now I'm on venture 4 already.
Very cool.
What a ride it's been.
Yeah,
right?
Very cool.
I have a question for you guys. So, being in the program, being in this ecosystem, we get asked all the time, why do you want to be a founder? I actually ask people all the time, right? And I've heard different answers from people. Some people will say, I want to be an entrepreneur because growing up, this blah 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 blah, right? And that's kind of like my story. And so regardless of whether I build like Allo Trade or whatever, I am going to build something. I am going to always be an entrepreneur, right? But there are people who will answer the question as, because I noticed this problem in this industry, or I want to create a solution for this industry, blah blah blah. And so, what are your thoughts on that? Like, would you, if you weren't working on your current venture now, right, or the industry and space that you're working in right now, would you still be an entrepreneur?
Do you want to go?
No, you go.
So I've had a lot of thoughts about this one because I'm more of the second type that you mentioned. It's not like what's attracting me to founding is the industry. So what's attracting me to founding is creating an impact, and I believe founding a company is the best way to make as big of an impact as possible. But the main thing I do is I want to make an impact on clean energy and or sustainability. That's my goal. I also firmly believe that founding a company is the right way to do so, to make the impact, to make the scale of impact that I want to create, and that's why I'm drawn to founding a company. But it's stemming from the original thought of clean energy and sustainability.
Okay.
So your question is like not based on what industry and sector I'm in right now, but just in general, do I think I would have ended up as a founder if the exact sequence of events didn't happen, or just in general, like
I think yours is like, I already kind of know the answer, right? Because you've been you founded Timelines, right?
yeah.
Now you're working in like chemical engineering simulation.
Yeah.
So I think regardless, clearly you'd probably be a founder of whatever, like in whatever space or industry.
Yeah, the way that I would answer this is I would say I think, eventually one way or another I would have kept making a series of decisions that would have led me to trying to be an entrepreneur one way or another. I think that would have happened.
They'd just be different decisions, but you'd get here in the end.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of glad it happened pretty early in my life because that means that I'm going to take these risks, make a bunch of mistakes, trip, stumble, and fall over my shoes a million times, and eventually I'll somersault into where I need to be. I had a second thought, but it's gone now. Let's keep going.
It's okay. It's okay.
Just to go back, for me it's like, I think I'll remain the founder unless I get shown a path that would create the impact that I want, if that's not from a founding perspective. Like if that would mean maybe still on a founding team, but for someone else's vision, but I believe in that vision, that would be something that I'd switch to as long as I see that having the most impact on clean energy sustainability. Like founding is just like right neck and neck, but the sustainability element, like the impact to sustainability element is just number one up there for me.
I also think in general it tends to be kind of like an inherent way of thinking, just how you are as a person, how you operate and see the world. Like I'm not saying this in a means of like, exclusivity or hierarchical classism. It's quite literally just some people think this way and some people don't.
Yeah.
So, that's why I think I would have ended up here.
I really agree with that, and one of the main reasons that got that thought in my head as well is from our lectures with Reza.
Yeah.
One of the things he talks about is how the founder's journey is similar to the hero's journey, and that in the one part of the hero's journey that like even I mentioned it to the classroom is like that resonated so much with me is the what was it called, the denial or the refusal to answer the call. And I think in our case, Josh also had that, and it could just not sit in the back of his mind. I had that, like a similar experience of that. I was doing a design-a-thon and ran into a professor from U of T, really smart guy, and he was like, oh, if you just switch your design-a-thon like thesis and build an app for one of my products, potentially there could be something there. Tried to get the team to switch, didn't work out. And then slowly that fizzled away, and then that sat nagging in the back of my mind still nags in the back of my mind for years. Like, I think the only time it shut off is once I was like, okay, see, I did a startup accelerator in uni, that's like, kind of shut it off, but then once Next Canada hit, that's the only time that like nagging thing in my mind can shut off, because I'm like, okay, I'm finally doing it. I was just sitting there seething for years. I'm like, why
There's a voice in the back of your head that's always telling you like what it is you need to be doing.
Exactly.
And I feel like whatever my pursuit is, whether it's like a certain aspect of my life in terms of well-roundedness, whether it's like, oh, I need to be doing something to stay more fit, I need to be more social because I haven't talked to someone in 40 hours, right? Whether it's something on like my product side, my distribution side, there's always, the back of my mind is always telling me, you need to be putting effort in here.
Yeah.
And I think that that's just something that happens with founders. I do.
And you got to listen to that voice. Sometimes it's hard to listen to that voice, but you got to listen.
Oh, you want to ignore it sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
You'd rather just go do nothing, you know what I mean, sometimes, but... Or you could be like you guys and just like stay up till 5 a.m. just getting that stuff done anyways. You guys might listen to the voice a little too much.
I was
Might
just
be
about to ask you
schizophrenic.
guys about that. Like, what are your thoughts on what's it called? Like, when you like work hard, play hard, or like.
I believe balance is imperative.
Work-life balance.
Balance is imperative, and balance looks different for everybody. Only you truly know what is good for you. However, you also know when you could be putting in more effort, when you could be trying a little bit harder. Because I've used balance as an excuse before as well, where it's been like, oh, I just need to stay mentally sharp, and then I go and like, you know, do nothing for like 2 days. It's like okay, that might not be balance. It might be if you're like truly exhausting yourself, but like. When you have a goal, you can craft out a means on how to reach it, but you should set aggressive goals that you're not even sure you should achieve, because that's going to push you harder.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to incentivize you. It's very easy to deviate from a path when you kind of leave it kind of floating in space, when you don't really like define it and structure it. And I'm all for malleability and not being completely rigid in my structure, but you got to be able to move things around and.
Yeah, sometimes you got to ground yourself, basically.
Yeah, and as a solo founder, it's very hard to have accountability, and that's another piece. So, I guess what's the best way you guys hold yourselves accountable to getting the things you know you need to do done in an ample amount of time?
I made myself like a productivity system. It's kind of like life bucket, so work, hobbies, whatever. And then time bucket, and priority bucket, obviously just what's a higher priority, and then time bucket. I want to get this done within a day, within this week, within next month. And then slowly the next month items find their way into this month, into the next week, into this week, into today. And it's sort of, and what I was realizing, I was getting everything I needed to get done, but never anything I wanted to get done. Everything I like that had to be checked off my list because it mattered so much to me got done, but like the things that I just found value in because I found value in, but they didn't really create, like playing guitar on a random Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Just never found itself in the to-do list. And like keeping myself accountable to the things I want to do and seeing that every single day and making the active decision to not pursue something actually makes me pursue it if I feel it's worth pursuing it. Like if I see it staring at me every single day, it's hard to ignore.
That's incredible because it makes you, it allows you to still be a human being. You're not just going through executing tasks like a robot, and then you kind of lose yourself along the way. That's actually how you invoke misery in yourself, and then you're not going to be as relatable when you're in a conversation with someone, trying to make a sale or trying to make a connection or whatever. That's going to translate into the business world and actually be a detriment to you if you just don't make time to be yourself and do the things that you love. What are some things you love to do?
I think so. I mean, I like to play tennis.
Yeah.
I do that very occasionally. I don't think I found time to do that this summer yet.
Gotta make the time, dude. Gotta make the time.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. When it comes to making sure that I'm actually doing the tasks that I need to do, honestly, I'm like a workaholic. So I will just keep working regardless. And we talked about sleeping hours, right? I basically get none of that. So
because we're so similar in that sense, I want to ask you, how are you working on that balance right now? How have you found that balance, or is it this is a work period, this is a relaxed period? How do you do that for yourself to keep it sustainable?
Yeah, I think other people would actually not say it's balanced, but I work. I don't actually call it work. I think I only started calling it work when I got here, because everyone calls it work, right? We all
Yeah.
come into this like formal office
Yeah.
and work. Like before this, I would just be on my bed still working.
Yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Founding
working.
is like your hobby.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's I just I don't I don't like complain about it or anything
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
Like I love working, and every time I get one step closer, I'm happy.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And as humans, we all need a sense of fulfillment, and this is just what provides us that fulfillment.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. You know, I don't dread opening up the laptop and doing the work that I have to do. I actually really, really enjoy it, and that's another thing that keeps motivating me to keep going.
And then I would say like if I'm just like, okay, I've been working a lot, like I want to relax, I put on a movie. Like I like watching sci-fi series on Netflix. Like
Nice.
I love watching stuff like that. I could binge.
What's your favorite show?
My favorite show is right now Three Body Problem.
I haven't seen it. I've heard good
Yeah,
things.
you should. It's
Should.
really good. If
I'm
you like
so bad with
sci-fi.
shows. What is this? I
If
don't
you
know.
like sci-fi, it's just a that's not what we're talking about. It's a show about like these aliens. They're like
Aliens.
they have like 3 stars revolving around their planet, and so because of that, you can't predict what is actually going to happen on their planet. It could be like one day there's a tsunami that floods their entire planet, another day the whole planet freezes, another day maybe, or another year or several years later, maybe like everyone burns or something, right? Because of
Yeah.
the sun being too close or whatever. You can't predict what happens when you have three bodies rotating around your planet, or your planet is rotating around 3 bodies.
Very cool.
It's a very common like aerospace problem, the 3-body problem, because there's multiple different type of configurations that can be stable.
Yeah. Like when it's 2 bodies, it's like it's more predictable, but 3 bodies, it's
If I'm gonna watch something, I always just watch like YouTube videos on history and geography. Like that's just a weird hobby of mine, but I just love it. I don't know.
I like sci-fi because I've always been like a space nerd.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that would be my future venture, something related to space.
Yeah.
But I just like learning about that stuff from movies. I mean, obviously, it's more interesting than like reading a textbook.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of reading, why don't we segue into our first segment, the 36. I have a piece of paper.
Okay.
So, the 36 is 36 rapid-fire questions that I'm going to provide you guys to close out this podcast pseudo-interview, whatever you want to call this session. Okay?
We're on the spot here.
Yeah, and so I think I'm going to allow most questions to be answered by both, but, if they're taking too long, maybe it'll just be one.
Can we ask you as well?
This is the first session. You're joining us today.
This is informal, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, first one. Coffee, tea, or neither?
Neither.
Coffee.
What do you think? All right. Number 2, early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl.
Early bird,
Yeah.
man. Early bird. No way. City you'd move to tomorrow if you had to?
If I had to.
Wow. City you'd move to tomorrow.
For work, New York. I think like it just aligns with what I'm building towards.
Yeah.
Spain. Madrid.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good answer. Good
Yeah.
answer. I like the idea of New York because like it still has seasons, but probably San Francisco. I love that city. If not here, I do love Toronto. I do love Toronto.
Fair.
Last thing you bought that was worth way more than what you paid for it. That was worth way more.
Oh, that's a thinker.
I got a digital camera from Value Village that for only like $30.
I mean, this has got nothing to do with work, but I went thrifting and found like a $4,000 jacket for $80. My friend knows her stuff. It could be
Thrifting's the
fake.
best.
I don't know. I'm trusting her judgment, but
I love thrifting.
yeah.
Anything?
Honestly, I'll say the 50% off Apollo subscription.
Dripify. Shout out Dripify.
Dripify. Sponsor the podcast.
Yeah. One app you'd delete forever if you could.
Instagram.
I already deleted TikTok. No, Snapchat. I deleted Snapchat years ago.
Oh, I deleted TikTok like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
No, Instagram. The reason I keep it is because I like literally text people through there sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
But you also post, right? So.
well, yeah, that too. But I just, it's so distracting. It's so distracting. Last book that actually changed something for you. Power and Prediction, Ajay Agrawal.
I mean, it is up there, to be fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, I read a book on perovskites.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it was recommended to me by Fletcher, he's someone at Next Canada, and yeah, I read through it one night, and I was like, okay, cool. This is way more interesting than I originally thought it was.
Overnight, huh? How many pages?
100-ish pages,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
like technical writing. It was interesting.
Perovskite.
For me, it was, I would say 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It changes your perspective on how to go about, pursuing an idea, coming up with an idea, scaling your idea, right, and your venture. So, it was very helpful.
I'm gonna try that one out next. That's a good idea. Okay, now on to, that was just the warm up. Now on to founder identity questions. What did your parents initially think you'd grow up to be? My parents thought I'd be a doctor for some reason. That's probably my writing. It's terrible.
They knew I'd be something in STEM. I was always like, it was always math and physics geared. They didn't know what, but they were just like, he's gonna figure it out probably.
Or he'd better.
He'd better.
Yeah, I think my mom thought I was going to be a lawyer because I used to argue a lot when I was younger. I mean, the years I've calmed down a little bit, but
Yeah.
and then she thought I was going to be an architect, but I suck at drawing, so yeah, that wouldn't have worked out.
Awesome. First time you made money, how? Was anything scrappy and interesting with your initial?
First time I made money, I mean, can this like include just like a regular random odd job or?
Anything.
Yeah, first time I made my money was working at Burger King in grade 12.
Yeah.
That was my first
yeah.
job, so.
My first job was Arby's. I had to wear the whole like apron and everything, dude.
Lovely.
It was terrible. Washing potatoes.
Mine was my co-op
Yeah.
in mechanical consulting.
See, that's like a good one though. I was like, roast beef sandwiches, Maybe a lemonade stand when I was a kid.
It was just like I grew up in the UAE. It was not a thing. People didn't get jobs in high school.
Oh.
And then like at the university, just didn't have time to work with engineering, and then co-op was the only time I got that opportunity, to be honest.
Fair.
Yeah.
Valid. The moment you knew you were going to start a company, we kind of touched on this, but what was the moment? Was there a moment?
I don't know. For me, it's not a specific day. It was just like
Yeah, it was a bit of a phase.
It was
for
like
me.
it was like a thought that was at the back of my mind. That was like a spark, and then it grew into a fire over time. And one day I was
Nice.
like, "Damn, okay, I can't ignore this anymore."
That was, the meme of like the pen to paper turning into fire?
Yeah.
That's what you just did.
I'd say probably grade 10 or 11, I'll say. Sometime then.
Yeah. Mine was more recent for sure.
What's the answer?
The moment, literally when like I talked to Misha, I was too scared before. I never really fully considered it, but
Yeah.
I knew I had a high ceiling that like I could define myself, because you do define your own capability. I was just like, what does that look like? And Misha kind of pushed me like, just go do it, man. Just go do it. If you weren't building what you're building, what would you be doing? I think we already talked about this. Good question. Best founder you've never met? Would it be Peter Thiel?
Elon Musk, I'll say. Yeah.
I saw Elon Musk in person, but I did not want to go talk to that guy. No. I didn't want to get fired. The notion was if you went and asked for a selfie or said something stupid, you get fired. I wanted to keep my job.
Fair enough. I'd do the same.
Yeah. So I guess him, yeah.
Honestly, same on the nose. It's the guy that wrote that Perovski's book. His name's Joe Jean, founder of Swift Solar in California. Like it was. I read it a few months ago, and I was just like, you know what? This is where I want to be, and that's
Founder you'd want as a co-founder for a day? I need to do better with that question.
Nathan.
We don't even need to answer that. Hot takes. Most overrated piece of founder advice.
That's a thinker.
That's a tough one.
I want to say in general, like, not even just founder advice, but when people are like, oh, networking needs to be so, curated, and it needs to be very, non-intentional. It needs to be very transactional. I don't think that's the case at all. I think you kind of just go in and you have, some idea of the type of people that you'd hope to talk to. Mm-hmm. Maybe you have a few people that you know are going that you want to talk to. But in general, you should just be building relationships and putting yourself out there in the world, and that's when you kind of get that same energy shown to you.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think this isn't even just, I guess, that you need to have a go-to-market, from the jump. Nobody ever actually has go-to-market from the jump. It can happen, but very rarely. You build your own go-to-market. So I don't know. I never understand that question of what's your go-to-market. It's always just, I know someone who knows someone, and I just becomes a snowball effect.
Connections do rule the world.
Yeah. So.
Do you have an answer or no? Don't have to.
Not off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'll come back to you.
Underrated piece of founder advice. I'm gonna say inevitability from Reza Satchi. Like that is an incredible piece of advice. Just conveying to people that what I am doing is going to happen one way or another. I'm the right person for it because of this wedge that I have or this unique positioning that I have. But in general, this is going to happen. The world is changing this way, so let me be the person to do it. I love that so much.
That's incredible. Mine is I got this from someone from the previous cohort. I asked him the question, what was the one thing you would keep in mind if you had to do the program again? And he said validation, 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 validation. Same amount of times that I said it.
That makes sense.
And I think right now, so I'm building something in hardware. So obviously you really need to know what you're building before you put your time and energy because it takes time and energy to build. But with AI, it's so much easier now to build solutions overnight and over the weekend. I think because it's so easy, people do build things, but that doesn't take away from the validation element. Validation is as if not more important. Just because you can build anything now, it means what really matters is why you're building it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the key to like everything.
I think for me, it's I remember one of our first sessions. They were like, "What are your unfair advantages?" Right, and they listed what those types of things could be. And for a lot of us, it was like, whatever we're familiar with. And I've seen a lot of us, Nathan, and me, transition from like these, different ideas that didn't necessarily relate exactly to our background to things that may give us more credibility and may allow us to have an insight into that like industry. So I think potentially just pursuing something that is a little bit more relevant to your background, whatever that might be. Not to say that it can't work if it's not, but
yeah.
So from both you guys, it's kind of like the why you or the why us question in that scenario, like the inevitability. Why is it you to succeed, and in what space would you be the one to succeed?
Yeah,
basically, right?
Yeah, we're definitely not rapid firing this, but that's okay. I might like skip a couple that I think are kind of stupid. So what industry do you think is about to get cooked? As a core part of my thesis, I think that any industry that does not adopt AI tools is going to be completely destroyed. So for example, I'm going after the most conservative industry that likes to sit on their hands and like not adapt to change. And that's, the majority of chemical engineering and industrial operations, which, makes sense because they do things that work right now. Okay, it's safe. Let's not change how we work. Let's not change how we do things. But once the first one does and does it in a safe manner and there's no disasters, they are going to be operating at 10 times the speed, effectiveness, and they're going to have better mathematical optimization in their models. They're going to kill everyone else. So, and then everyone else is going to scramble to catch up. So realistically, I think it's any industrial facility or industrial enterprise that refuses to wake up and adhere to the AI revolution that's happening.
I agree with that. I think specifically like traditional engineering firms, they don't adapt. They could be left behind. I don't know about cooked, but they could be left behind for sure.
I think that's kind of the same thing.
Fair.
Yeah.
I mean, far enough in the future, if you're left behind, you are cooked.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree. Is there an industry everyone's sleeping on?
Sleeping on as in like to disrupt or like...
Yeah, maybe to go in and like tackle as a founder. That's probably how I would take it.
Clean energy.
Clean energy?
I mean, and talking to people in the solar space, one of the main things that I've gotten is, we're happy you're here. Like, we're glad to have young people who are interested in taking forward clean energy. And I'm like, if that's a constant from people in the solar industry, then more people need to be here.
In school, I would literally be partnered with Young Canadians for Resources. They're an organization out in Alberta that is trying to get more Canadians into these sectors for that exact reason. Yeah.
I think I'll say the industry that I'm working in. So
I'd say the same, man. That's the whole point, right? That's the wedge.
Capital markets, like trading firms. I think it's because it's not widely understood.
Yeah.
And it's like a very like highly gate-kept industry. Like, it's already hard like for people to like if they want to work in the industry. It's very hard. Like it's very connections based, network based, and there's so many old incumbents that just have all those networks from all those years.
Yeah.
And I think they scare people off, but they're just old. Like they're just, you could create something better.
The youth is on the come up, if you will. Do you guys think that AI is closer to the internet in terms of something being truly revolutionary, or closer to crypto and being kind of a fad that works really well but isn't necessarily taking over the entire world?
Do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I think I used to think that, like so many jobs are going to be displaced and, that we're reaching singularity, right? But I actually think it's just changing how we work, honestly. Like, I don't think that's going to happen. I think, yeah, there might be less people, but it's just like how the Industrial Revolution happened. There were less people. It changed, like, how jobs functioned. I think it's going to be the exact same way. But, yes, progressively getting better and better because that is exactly how AI works, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think that there's, and this is actually going against you, I think there's that judgment portion, right,
Yeah.
that humans will always need. That's why even for AI agent solutions, you need that human in the loop, right?
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere in between. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but I don't think it's going to be like crypto where it's going to disappear. AI's, like, at the very least, it's so integrated in so many people's, like, day-to-day that it's going to be a part of it. It may not be as crazy as the change the internet changed, but created, but it will still remain a part of it. So at the very least, it's somewhere in between.
When Al-Barr's saying going against me, basically, like, my theory is that AI will eventually get to a point where it will convey judgment just as, if not better than humans, all while having higher context windows. And the reason being, if you train 8 billion different AI models the same way there are 8 billion different humans on the planet, I tend to think that they're all going to have unique environments and unique perspectives. And then if they're given like actual mechanical or biological bodies and the ability to like reproduce and be completely sustainable, I think we are screwed.
We're going to need to harness the sun's energy for that compute.
Yeah.
Just,
I got you guys.
but straight up, like if that were to be the case, I also think it would revolutionize things, and there would, they could do any job at that point if they actually are physical entities.
I think the knock-on effect this will have is still to be determined. Like AI will be big, but I think there's going to be like you're saying, like, okay, there's some humanoid elements. There are a lot of companies working on like fully AI robots. I think the knock-on effects are still to be determined, and everyone's trying to figure out what that would look like in the next 5 years.
Yeah, and like what would be allowed, what laws are going to pass, and that sort of thing.
We'll
Guys, we are halfway through the questions, and you have to go prepare for a meeting. This is not good.
yeah.
The 36 has become the 18.
We're on the 18th floor.
How much time do you have, like, realistically, if you wanted to give it a bit more?
Honestly, like 3:10.
3:10.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go rapid fire.
Okay, hardest part of your day every day, waking up. I'm just kidding.
Going through the list of that many items and deciding this is the one I want to do today.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to do the one which you don't want to do today.
Yeah.
Everything's going to get done, but maybe not the way you want it to get done.
Yeah, like, hardest part is like not getting the outcome that I want.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yesterday was a tough day for me. I wasn't getting any leads, and I was just like complaining to Jake the entire walk home. Best part of your day. I'm gonna say any time that I have a coffee next to me is a great part of my day.
Nice.
I feel great.
Interacting with the cohort, honestly, like.
Damn, now I
Good
just
to
sound
talk
like
to
an
people.
addict. That's crazy.
Yeah,
No, you're right.
I agree with that. I agree with that part.
This is the greatest group of people I've ever been a part of. Last thing you got wrong. Is that a thinker? If it's a thinker, we'll skip it.
It's a bit of a thinker.
Thinker.
Okay, yeah, we're always right, guys. Last thing you got right that surprised you? Everything. Anything?
Also thinker for me.
Somewhat. I mean, like the fact, like I was. There is some white space in the field that I'm in the space that I'm in. I'm still not confirmed whether it's for me or worth pursuing, but the fact that like the white space that I found, I'm like I predicted that a while back, and I'm like, you know what, I'm glad I saw
Good.
it. Is it gonna work out? We'll find out, but there's something here at the very least.
The thing I got right that like didn't surprise me at all is AI's capability to change the software world, and look where we are now.
There
Like
you
I'm
go.
very happy I predicted that. Well, I'm sure a bunch of other people did. I'm not here saying I'm fucking God. Okay, one tool or app you couldn't run your business without.
Or any LLM, bro.
Realistically, yeah.
Yeah. This
Codex, Claude, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
How many hours did you sleep last night?
Probably. Honestly, it was pretty decent. Like I'll say 6, 7.
God.
Can we cut that out?
Can we stop the podcast?
Can we cut him out after that? I got 7.
I got 6.5. Yeah.
Okay. Mindset philosophy. One belief you used to hold strongly that you don't anymore.
That's a thinker.
Thinker?
It's a great
Thinker.
question, but it's a thinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Quote
Maybe you should like give these in advance for the
Yeah, that would-
But I feel like
Yeah,
that's
okay.
less authentic.
That's fair. I mean, but then it's not rapid fire.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on the
Working on
format. Yeah. Any quotes that come to mind that stuck with you your whole life? What's your favorite quote?
Do unto others as others do unto you.
I had a friend say something similar to me, which was never leave a kind thing unsaid.
I like that one.
I think for mine, it's like if you judge a fish's ability to climb a tree, then it's gonna live its whole life thinking it's stupid, right? Like,
That's awesome.
I think a lot of people learn in different ways, and I think judging very quickly on like someone's ability to do anything is not great.
Awesome. Are you more scared of failing or not trying? Not trying.
Not trying.
Not trying.
I feel like we wouldn't be here
course.
if the answer was the other thing.
Yeah.
True. Win the lottery tomorrow, are you going to keep building or no?
Still gonna keep building, yeah.
As in if I win the lottery, we're like.
If you have money, are you still going to...
I'll just throw the money into what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Exactly.
I will never
What?
stop
Exactly.
building.
That's the answer I'm looking for right now. What are we talking about?
What does making it actually mean to you?
I wake up every day happy. Like I can
Yes.
I can make it today
Yes.
as long as I wake up every day like I'm on the right path and I know why I'm
Yeah.
doing this and what it's going for.
Waking up with fulfillment and like people in my life that I love, that love me, that like
Yeah.
you
I
know,
don't think you need to wait 20 years to be happy.
yeah, you don't need like some big sum of money. Then all of a sudden, finally, I'm satisfied. No, because you're gonna realize you're empty if you did it the wrong way, right?
Having the ability to help others will always
Yeah.
just
Beautiful.
give me fulfillment.
What would 12-year-old you think of what you're doing right now? Would he be proud? Would he be like, "Come on, do better, kid"? Like, what would he be like?
You think I'm a wildly different person, but like 12-year-old me is actually when I was around that age is when I started getting interested in clean energy. So
That's awesome.
I think 12-year-old me would be very shocked at like the field that I pursued, like being in finance and everything. Because at the time, like I wanted to be like a biochemist or some shit, something. So yeah, I think half and half.
I'm not certain where I wanted to be when I was a 12-year-old, but I always had this like vision in the back of my head of me in an office with like a phone on either ear, running around really quickly with papers flying everywhere like a chicken with my head cut off. Like that's a vision that I embody within my persona, and I just feel like maybe I'm on that path. So maybe I'll.
maybe one day you'll get there. I'll see you tomorrow running through the office.
Yeah, and then just paper starts levitating. Yeah. Okay, last 6. Founder in Next 36, whose business you find yourself thinking about often.
I like yours. I think it applies a lot to the industries that I've worked in.
You're just saying that.
I mean-
Stop.
I think I'll say like Corvida. Corvida seems really interesting.
Oh, Corvida, absolutely.
Helping,
Yeah, actually, Corvida as well.
Save babies and stuff.
I wanna say,
the
like-
messaging
Yeah,
and
yeah.
mission.
I want to say Kathy's Ico translations. It's a great product, and she
Yeah.
kills it on the pitch
Also,
every
Corvida
time.
is Salim.
Salim does kill it.
Yeah.
He kills it. Best piece of advice you've gotten in the cohort so far? Kind of touched on stuff like this, but...
Yeah, we kind of touched on this
Yeah.
one.
Okay. One thing you want to be true about your life in 5 years? Progress, man. Needle forward, having an impact, and...
I'm still doing what I'm doing, like the direction I'm going. Like that's.
Yeah, generally, but like, you know, the scope could shift so much in like 1 year, let alone 5, right?
I'm okay with the scope shifting as long as like
Yeah.
every day I'm on. Like if the next 3 days I feel like I'm on the right path, it's, at some point I'll just be on the right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just continuing, progress.
Progress. Better every day, continuous learning. Song that should play when you walk into a room. And his name was John Cena. No.
Get copyrighted.
Oh, there's so many answers for this that are just
Yeah.
awesome.
It's a thinker.
Yeah.
X gonna give it to you. I don't know that.
That came to my head as well.
No way.
Yeah.
I think Milkshake by. Is it Nicki or
No, that's-
Milkshake brings
isn't
on
that
the voice.
Fergie?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I think Kelly's,
Kelly's is artist?
right?
I don't know,
Maybe.
dude. I have no idea.
The ones-
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Yeah, that one.
I didn't expect to do well on this one.
Hey, you never know when you get the 36 podcast.
Not edit that out, but edit that in multiple times. I want that replayed. Okay, what do you want said about you when you're not in the room? Ooh.
Don't really.
For me, I want it to be that like I'm actually, a person that communicates well with others. People want to be like, yeah, he gets his point across well, and he brings people together and wants to, some sort of social impact. Like that's what I want, ideally.
Not really. It's not really a.
It doesn't have to be even like
No, that's fair.
egotistical.
No,
It could just
not
be
even
like,
egotistical. Like generally, I'm okay with whatever people say behind me or whether they don't say. Like it's not something that like I think about. to be honest. Like,
Well, I'm telling you to think about it now.
Well, fair. Go
Maybe
first.
like I don't know, maybe like easygoing, hard worker. Probably.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, some social impact side.
Driven,
There we go.
I guess.
There we go.
So impact, yeah.
And last question with the last minute. Pitch your business in 5 words or less.
That's a great question.
yeah.
How are you able to do that?
I think like a slogan tagline.
I'm saying cursor for chemical engineers.
Move forward. New age solar panels.
Mine's just like AI for post-trade workflows.
And that, my friends,
I don't like mine.
and that is the 36 questions and the 36 podcast. That's episode 1. Thank you guys
Thank
for
you very
coming.
much. Thank you for having
Let's
us.
go. Thank you guys for making this happen.
Guys, for help setting this up.
All right.
Yeah, thanks.
That's that.
All right, I'm just gonna run.